Today I thought I would show you how I made the fire starters that I mentioned in the previous kitchen home tour for Christmas. And I'm also going to explain a little bit about the Christmas card exchange that we have going on, how I'm doing it, and why I had to shut down the Christmas card exchange at a certain number and things like that. Maybe if you didn't make the card exchange this year, you can start some with some of your friends. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this works. This is yet to be seen. Hopefully the system I figured out does work and everybody gets their cards and everybody gets their list and so forth. So I'm going to start working on these. All right. We'll go back to the Christmas card exchange in a moment, but first let me quickly show you how I made the fire starters. To get started, you need to melt your wax in a double boiler, or another name for it is a bain-marie, and all it is 2 containers. The bottom container holds water, and the second container is set inside, and that is where your wax is put. Please keep in mind that the wax is flammable, so if you're working with an open flame like I am here, keep a close eye on it and don't let any of the wax get onto the burner, of course. Best to use an electric hot plate. Now, this is a step that's not needed, but I decided to add an orange-scented essential oil and a caramel-colored wax coloring that I got at the craft store. Now, going back to my childhood candle making days, I would have added a brown crayon or another color if I wanted. Here I am putting the oil in, and then I just mixed it up. Now, I didn't check temperature or anything because I knew these were just actually going to be thrown into a fireplace, so I really didn't mind at what temperature. I just wanted it melted enough to pour, and I'm making sure also that I'm getting some of the wick. Once I cut those down, I do want the wicks to have some wax on it, and as you can see, I used the really mini paper cups because I had very small pine cones. You could use the larger ones if you want. And once they're cool, I took them out. And those other 2, I even put some rosemary in. I didn't know what it would be like once I burnt that, so I'll let you know. And on a whim, I decided to add some cloves into the wax before it hardened too much. And the purpose of the scenting is more so when it's out and about and not being used in the fireplace. And I have to tell you, I had to guard these during Thanksgiving because I did have them out on the dish to photograph, and our guests thought they were food at first, but they did smell delicious. In a moment, I'm going to show you how I use them, but I also wanted to share these would make a really cute gift for somebody that has a fireplace or likes to go camping and just wants to have a fire starter that's a little extra special. And you could just put them in a cellophane bag with some ties, or really anything that you'd like to present them in. Now, we also use the pine resin wood and the fire starters here at home, but I wanted to make these just to do something a little different. And keep in mind, when I'm showing you placing them in on the paper, they're much better under the paper, but I just wanted you to see how well they caught. And you can also see that they're going to catch onto the pine cone, and in a moment you will note that in the flame it gets very bright yellow. That's the hottest part, and that's the wax, and it really took well to the wood. Now, if you do make these, I would suggest staying with the small ones if you're going to use them on an inside fireplace such as ours, and just use 1 or 2. It's just really to give that paper and the wood a little bit extra time to catch. If you wanted to do the larger ones in the muffin tins, I would suggest those would be used for outdoor fire pits only. I am working working on the Christmas card exchange, and I thought I would just share a little information about this. I feel really bad that so many of you have requested to jump on board and join us. And honestly, the only reason I had to close it out and stop it was, one, I wasn't really sure how I was going to pull this together and what the system was going to be. Two, my hopes are to send everybody a card first, and it could be quite costly. I'm going to be sending these all over the world, so I just needed to see what I was in for, and I think this is going to work out great though. But once again, I'm so sorry if you weren't able to make the exchange this year. Hopefully, if I figure out that this system works, next year I will be able to increase it, and we might do some things different. But maybe you can do a Christmas card exchange with some of your friends or your neighbors or relatives if you are missing the old-fashioned folding cards with glitter. I'm having a lot of fun filling these out. And what I did, and actually I'm gonna work here while I'm chatting. What I did is I did these in baby steps since I have so many here. I first wrote inside the envelope, inside the card, and then last night I sat myself in front of some Christmas decorating shows that I found on Netflix and then also the Hallmark Channel, and I started writing all the addresses on the cards. And the way I figured out the system for us is I broke our list into groups, and my husband, God love him, did this on spreadsheets for me. So each person is going to get their own customized list that we selected randomly, unless other parts of the country or the world actually, it would be cheaper, so I grouped them together. But each person is getting a list inside of their card and envelope that they will then be mailing to. And hopefully, if everybody can mail back, everybody should get about anywhere from 5 to 10 cards, depending on the size of their list. So, like I said, this is a trial, and I'm going to see how it goes. I am going to be, I think, sealing these with my wax seal, and let me just show you. There's so many different ways of doing wax seals. I have yet to try the one with the spoon where you drop it on. I usually melt my little candle and I drop the wax and I use my seal. This time I'm going to be trying these wax sticks that you use in a hot glue gun, and I've actually went searching for my large hot glue gun that I do know I saw when I made the pine cone craft. I can't find it anywhere. It's gone, poof. So I searched the house, literally an hour at least. It will be a lot faster for me to drive to the local craft store and buy an $8 glue gun and come home and use that, because I'm pretty sure if that glue gun is missing, I probably won't see it until we move again, or I'm not looking for it. Has that happened to anybody? You see it, you know it's somewhere in the house, and you just can't find it. And I'm figuring it's most likely I picked it up knowing I was going to use it for this, got distracted, and put it down somewhere nonsensical. And that's where it's going to stay for quite a while. It's just, it's so frustrating. It really is. It's so frustrating. There's gonna be extras. So I'm going to try those glue sticks out for the first time and see how they work, because I love sending, wax sticks. I love sending out Christmas cards with the wax seal, and just gonna see how it goes. But if you're going to do something like this, just make sure you have some time and enjoy the moment. Just go slow. I would have a fire going right now, but it's actually in the 50s. I absolutely adore that so many of you keep me on my toes. And by that I mean, when I say I'm going to do a craft project and you don't see it soon, I get emails or direct messages asking for that to come up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I was going to do that. So I appreciate it, because I do get scattered. So what I'm going to be working on also is my fruit wreath for the front door. I've put some pineapples out front right now, but I'm going to work on that, and I don't think that will be this video, but possibly this coming Sunday or weekend. I'm not sure when I'm going to release it yet, but I need to get going on these cards. And get them out into the mail so that everybody gets them on time, because then they need to fill out their cards. If you're watching this and you are part of the exchange, you might want to start with your cards, signing the inside, and then once you get your list, you could do the address. I was going to email everybody the list, but I just wanted to keep it really hands-on and personalized this way. So I'm going to get going, finish all of these. I probably only have another 100 or so more to go. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Well, once all the envelopes were stuffed, I then ran around and I used a damp sponge to seal the envelopes. Somewhere I have a little bottle with a sponge on top that holds water. It's probably with the other glue gun. But anyway, I did all of those first, and then I proceeded to do the wax seal. Now, this was the first time I used a gun to do these, and there's pros and cons. It went a lot faster, but first I didn't have it on low heat, and it did seem to take a lot longer to dry. It also leaked a little bit from the seam at the bottom of the glue gun. I don't know if it's because it was on high heat or if I had a glue gun that wasn't sealed properly, but I also noted that I'm going to have to use this glue gun from now on for wax seals because there's no way to clean it out. You'd have to keep pushing it through. So this will be put aside. All in all, I did like using it for the wax seals, but it was just going to be a new learning curve for me. Some of you have asked if I'm still producing the magazine, New England Fine Living. Right now, I'm not, but we do have 4 issues. I have quite a few in stock still because I held on to some for marketing purposes. I'm putting together a package that if you wanted to order the 4 issues, I will ship them out to you. And they are full color glossy photos. There's not a lot of ads in here, so it's a little thinner than most magazines. It's because I didn't want to fill them with ads. These are, it's a lot about home, decorating, entertaining, and I will put a link below in the information of the web page that will take you to more information about these. So that's my shameless promotion for now. All right, we'll see you later, and thank you. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It gives me an idea that you enjoy what you're watching here on our channel. Bye now.